things get better for you as you heal from being around such a poisonous person for so long.
Right. So what I love to share with my clients is I was there. I was. One of the worst stories I've ever heard is my own, like some of the stuff that happened. So I was in the thick of it, just like they are. And look at my life now. I'm like a poster child for it doesn't have to be so scary. It's that fear of the unknown. If I could get out of with having to prove grounds for divorce, right? Like all of the everything stacked against me, 3 kids under 10, it just a whole lot of, and I was far away from any support. I grew up in New Orleans, so my family's in New Orleans. I live in New York. I have really very little support system around me. Right. If I could, and it wasn't easy, and I did everything wrong, and I didn't have a coach. Nobody knew what the word narcissism was back then.
Right.
So
it was just jerk.
Yeah,
that's
exactly, jerk. Right. And the first day I didn't have my kids because I was 24/7 mom, and the very first day we were separated. I mean, well, the spoiler alert is he did end up choking me. And that was the only way I was able to file for divorce. So it had to escalate to that before anything could happen. So, but luckily that meant he was out of the house. I had a restraining order. And so the first day he had visitation with the kids, and I didn't have kids for the first time in 10 years. I went to the library. There was no Google. There was no social media. Like it was dark ages. And I was determined, just like people are now Googling, like, why does he do this? Why does he act this way? What is this about? This is so weird. I went to the library and went into the DSM and just started reading. I mean, I didn't even know what that was. I'm just discovering all this psychiatry section. And I get to the narcissism section that I never heard of before. And it's like they were in my home. Yep. It was a textbook, everything that he had done. And it was just like, this is a thing.
Yeah. And that must have been a complete weight off of your shoulders, because I think from what I've read and people that, I've experienced this, I've spoken to, myself included, that like you always think of a way to think, oh, but maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Like maybe this is something that
you're told that everything's your fault.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. Cause even stuff I've read, like a narcissist or like a psychopath, like this is the smallest thing that was shocking to me. Like they'll, even when you're walking down the street, they'll continually walk into you. And it's just like this little mind game that I couldn't even believe was a thing that is typical of these sorts of personality disordered in individuals. So like, did you feel when you went to the the Encyclopedia Britannica or wherever you went, like did you feel like thank God I'm not crazy, like that this is a real thing?
They had to kick me out of the library. I got there when it opened at 8 a.m. and it was like 6 p.m. on a Saturday. They made me, I hadn't eaten. I could not stop reading all I could consume about this, because it was like, thank God, it's not me. It's not me.